Hey everybody, Will Mosby here, back with yet another video, and in this video I'm going to show you how to install luxury vinyl plank. Let's go. Okay, so Vince on Facebook, I posted a picture of me laying the LVP, the luxury vinyl plank, and Vince said, "Hey Will, hope you're doing well. Are you going to do a YouTube video on your channel showing how to install LVP?" I said, no, I wasn't planning on it, but should I? Here I am. So in this video, I'm going to show you what my process is on how to install LVP. Now, I don't have my normal camera with me today. I wasn't planning on doing a video, so I'm shooting it with my phone. So let's see if I can get this done. All right, so first off, the LVP that I'm using is Style Selections waterproof vinyl plank, which is a 12 mil layer. It's got the little foamy thing on the back, as you can see it over there. So you actually don't need that extra layer. This one actually has it. So this is a 5 millimeter plank, and this is called the brunette oak. I don't know if you can see that. Brunette oak is what this is. And I'll stand back a little bit, and here we are in the tiny, that's what it looks like. It's a great kind of a blend between some grays and some browns. Really nice looking color. But I'm going to try to put this the phone on a tripod and to show you my process of how to lay this. I am not a flooring guy. I respect those guys a lot, but I started back there in that corner of this bathroom and started going that way and working my way across. Yeah, let's see if I can step in here. Working my way across as I'm going through the kitchen area and out here into the living room area. And I've got this last little section to do, and I'll show you how to finish this thing off. First thing I did was I really cleaned up my area that I'm working on. So as I'm going through, I'm kind of cleaning as I go and making sure all the debris, anything that is laying down on there is nailed down real good, making it about as flat as possible, because you don't want a little piece of wire sticking underneath there somewhere and you feel it walking across the floor. This thing's, it feels good. So you'll pick up on that with your feet as you're going across if something is underneath the plank. And you don't want that. So first, clean your area. Next, you're going to want some tools whenever you're doing this. You're definitely going to need a hammer. You're going to need a pretty sharp knife, a square, something like a speed square there will be very helpful. And I'm using the small one. I have a larger one right there on my table. But really all I need is that guy. And then these two guys here, those are blocks that you're going to use to be able to hammer things into place, and you'll see that here in just a second. So those two, definitely, you can't get by trying to lay this floor without that, and that comes in a kit. You can just go into the store, any kind of flooring store, Lowe's, Home Depot, whatever, and you'll be able to find that kit that contains those two pieces right there. All right, so let's lay this piece right here. I'm going to try to do this one-handed. I won't be able to, but just to show you, I'm working, obviously, going this way, going across that way. And so all your pieces have a couple of different sides. There's a little bit fatter lip, a little bit where these planks lock together, and a pretty thin side where the plank locks together with the other one. And so what I found to be easiest, the way to lay this, is actually put your end in first. Right, and I try to get it fairly close, not all the way, obviously, but pretty close. I'm having trouble doing this one-handed. Back up just a little bit. Yeah, about like that. That's pretty good. See how close I am right there? That's about as close as you need it. And I've already got my seam. So my seam is already butted up, and I'm just going to let go of the plank. And you can see it doesn't quite come in to play down here. And I'll work from this side first and just kind of work my way, tapping on that side of the board, hammering it in this way. So I'm going to put this down and show you what that looks like. Yeah, another thing you're going to need, some pretty decent knee pads, because being down here on your knees really sucks for me. But All right, so this piece is already buttoned up against. We've got that little gap right there and a little bit more gap down here. So I'm just gonna kind of lift and pull it in. Hopefully you can hear me. Like I said, I don't have my normal camera with me. I'm using my phone. So hopefully the audio doesn't suck. All right, so got that little piece hooked in and I'm still off up here. So we're gonna grab this one, which has a little bit fatter side, and just kind of hook it over the lip. Please do not hit your finger whenever you're doing this. I've done that. That sucks too. We're just gonna tap, I'm gonna hold it right here in place and just kind of tap it in. And I'm watching this gap to watch it close up. There it closed. But you can see it's not laying flat because as I got this one in, it came apart down there. This is the fight that goes on with these pieces. So now we're just gonna work our way down. And there you saw the piece actually lay down and lay down flat. Now you know that it's locked in. I'm going to come back and check the seam. The seam looks good and this seam looks good. So that's how you do the piece. We're going to do another piece. So we'll take a full piece and it is, well, I've got to do this one first. So it's a small piece. So I'm going to actually flip it. This is the way that it faces. I'm going to flip it over. Let's get this stuff out of the way. Hopefully I'm still on frame here. But we were facing this way. I need this segment right here to fill this little gap. So I'm going to flip it around. Put it right up against the wall. Let me bring the camera over so you can see what I'm doing. All right, so we're going to mark this one. So I'm right up against the wall and I'm going to score across this way with my knife using the speed square, and then we'll just snap it in half. Got my piece where I want it. Put my speed square where I want it, right on my line. What was that, 7 times? Yeah, you don't need to do it too many times. You don't want to drag your blade across and drag it onto your other boards that are laying here. I'm being real careful to lift up as I'm pulling across. And you just need to score it that many times, and now you can just, it'll just break off in half. It's perfect. It's that easy. Now we're going to take this in, stick it in just like we did the other piece. We're there, and now just lift up a little bit. And that's it. If I had a little gap right here, that's what this piece is for. I can actually anchor on the end and tap this way. And that pulled everything tight to this seam right here. And that's how you do it. Now we're going to do this one. Actually, before I do that last one down there, we're going to do this one first. And you'll feel the board give way and it'll lay flat. And then you know you're there. And that looks really good. Everything's nice and tight. And you just keep on moving along, working your way across the floor. Once you get up to a wall or around the corner, you're gonna have to take some measurements and cut. Let's talk about that for just a second. I've got a little station set up here. So whenever I'm having to do long cuts or around corner cuts, I'll use my jigsaw I'll use some clamps to kind of hold the piece down just a little bit. If I need to do any kind of measuring, I'll obviously tape measure, and another speed square, a bigger speed square. And then you probably need something of a long straight piece so you can measure between 2 points. You might have to make a point at one end and make a point at another end and just connect the dots. And a long ruler like I have here works pretty darn good. But a framing square, you know, like that thing right there would work just fine as well. But jigsaw seems to be the easiest thing that I've used whenever cutting LVP. Now it does make a mess. You get a ton of those little shards coming off all over the place. So definitely wear some protective eyeglasses when you are making cuts with a jigsaw. All right, so now I'm laying this piece that is up close to the wall. So you actually can't put your brick on that side and hit it. There's nothing to hit there. So what you have to do is use that other little tool. That's where this thing comes in handy. That's why you gotta have both of these things. And so you can hook it and hit this and pull it across. So I've got this end hooked already. Now we're just gonna get down here, kind of lift up just a little bit. That's what I like to do. Just lift up a little bit. You can give it a pretty decent little whack. This thing has felt on this end, so it rides, glides pretty smoothly. You can also flip it over and grab with the small end as well. I just happen to use the fat end all the time. Almost there. There. You can actually, as I was tapping, you could see the board actually start to lay down. Now that kind of gives you confirmation that that thing is in all the way. You shouldn't have one sticking up in the air. It should just lock in with the other one, and that'll help it fold all the way down and lay completely flat. All right, that's it for this video on laying LVP. Hopefully you found it helpful. Thanks, Vince, for the push in making the video. Really appreciate that. I wasn't even thinking about doing one, but ended up doing it anyway. So made a little short video on how to lay LVP, and hopefully it helps you and you can feel confident enough to go out and lay your own luxury vinyl plank. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care.